Good afternoon and greeting from Sydney. Namaskar. Today I'm here with the topic of what is counseling and what are its significance. And I'm presenting on behalf of a small business that I'm running myself. Thank you for being with me. I hope you will watch the series and I believe you will be benefited from this presentation. अहिले मेरो आफ्नो बिजनेस व्यवसाय जसको नाम छ jEDU'L कन्सल्टिङ र यो एजुकेसन एन्ड कन्सल्टिङ सर्भिसेस को तर्फबाट म आज यो काउन्सेलिङ भनेको के हो, यसका महत्त्वहरू के छन् भन्ने विषयमा चाहिँ यहाँहरुलाई जानकारीको लागि यो प्रेजेन्टेसन प्रस्तुत गर्दै छु। My role is presenter today. And again, thank you so much for being with me. Before starting this presentation, I would like to acknowledge traditional owner of this land, elders past, present, and emerging one. With respecting everyone, I would like to get the opportunity to deliver few things. Let me share some slides that I have prepared for you. What is counseling? And there is another supplement. What are its significance? The purposes of these presentations are to educate people about what counseling is, to aware them about counseling's usefulness, and to motivate them to reach out counseling services. Let me start from what is counseling. Counseling ke hota? What is counseling? I refer this book, Basic Personal Counseling or Training Manual for Counselors, written by jEDU'L and Fo in 2017. And this book is very useful book. When I did a counseling course, I refer this book in most of the places, and it is a really good book for counselors. And the author of this book define the counseling as an effective way of helping people to identify a new way of thinking and behaving to bring changes in their life. There are numerous definitions of counseling, not exactly same. However, the sentiment of definition of the counseling is almost all similar. Let me tell one definitions given by Carl Rogers, a psychologist who was pretty much inspired by Abraham Maslow, another psychologist who used to believe in self-actualization, the expectations from the basic needs to human beings' basic needs to higher level of expectations, and people will realize themselves in order to meet that level of expectations, and they prepare to achieve the goal as well. So Carl Rogers basically defined counseling clearly that it is a transmission of warmness, genuineness, and acceptance from therapist to a client. Acceptable one, it means. We can understand from that way as well. Similarly, counseling is a professional guidance to clients to assist with their psychological issues and needs to bring a change in their life. We can also generalize a counseling definition as a as a professional guidance to clients to assist with their psychological, emotional, and all the other aspects of the clients or the situation of the clients. Pretty much to build their strength and abilities and to bring a change in their life is a counseling. Okay. I hope you understand what counseling is. Let me start another slide. Aims of counseling. It's in general, what I understand is the aim of counseling is basically to identify clients' issues, concerns, problems, needs, desires, and the things associated with emotional, psychological, and physical state. To assist them to develop an interpersonal trust and collaborative approach to bring change in their life. In the collaborative approach, basically, the counselor may require to work with other service provider as well in order to assist the client to resolve all the kinds of issues that they are facing. That could be legal issues, that could be work-related issues, that could be medical issues, or that could be emotional issues, or relationship issues, or any kind of issue. There could be any issues, any reason behind the issues and problems, or loneliness. So counselor is a profession. Counseling service will basically lead the client, will basically guide a client in a proper direction. So this is called a professional service. So counseling is a professional service that will basically guide a client in order to resolve their various kinds of issues, wherever they need to contact, wherever client requires supports, needs, or to resolve the issues. Officially, counseling service will guide the client. Okay. So a collaborative approach is essential. Client has to trust, believe to counselor, and counselor also required to work with other different kinds of service providers, agencies, or governments. But it is not all similar. It depends upon case to case. That's why interpersonal trust, they need to trust each other from the bottom of the heart, and they need to also be ready to work collaboratively so that they can bring changes in their life. Similarly, to encourage them to become self-reliant, self-confident by fostering well-being and better life. So end of the day, if well-being is difficult, if some issues are impacting person's well-being, that will definitely, disrupt that person's progress as well. That is internally harming the person. That is very important to identify whether some issues are putting the people behind, or they just want to raise the issues and, without any reason. It could not be possible. So there should be some reasons people raise the issues. And when they raise the issues, I don't think there is no solution. So if we seek a solution in a right way, right channel, proper channel, issues will be resolved. This is what I believe. So then once there is no issues, that darkness will not come anyone's life. This is already resolved. That will not bother anymore ahead. The individual can progress. They save time, they are free from the stress, anxiety, or kind of worries, or like anxiousness, concerns, whatever things were bothering a client. They can, get rid of from those things once they get counseling service and their issues are resolved. I think the aims of counseling, this is why I have listed 3 things. Still, there are so many, the points we could include, or we can also see from these 3 points, there are so many, the aspects have been included. And the main thing is assisting or guiding a client in a professional way to help them to resolve their issues and to assist them to find their needs, setting the goals, and providing continuous supports in order to build their confident, self-reliant, and of course, improving the well-being and to get the better life. So these are the aims of counseling. You can also understand some things from here. What is counseling? It is not a direct advice actually, but you can see the guidance, personal recommendations, problems, opinion, resolving, so many things, so many words written there in the board are related to counseling service. Sometimes if client situation is associated with mental illness, there could be like, the health specialist or professional may use the direct advice technique as well. So there are so many things you can understand from this slide, which are associated with the counseling services. Supports, caution, advice, entreat, coach, vulnerable person, psychological support, psychological advice, impotence, giving impotence, emotional counseling, so conflict resolution, direct deal. There are so many other things, and progress, of course, process and progress, resolving, resolve, talk, action, and talks. From this board, I believe you also understood a little bit more more than what I said. And let me permit to go in next slides. The significance of counseling. Now, in this presentation, I tried to bring 2 different, it's a related, but 2 different parts. The one was what is counseling, and the other one was the significance of counseling. So in the significance, why counseling is useful? What are the usefulness of counseling? What are the significance of counseling? It's the same thing. When we understand the counseling, it is also beneficial for us to understand the significance. Although I explained some sort of aims and definitions and those triggering words as well, you must have you must have gained some knowledge already. I also would like to highlight the significance in 3 major boards: being free from psychological and emotional issues, building self-confidence, capabilities, and strength, bringing a positive change in personal and professional life. So being free from psychological and emotional issues. We are human beings. We have various aspects of our life: emotional, psychological, social, sexual, relationship, physical, economical, and so on and so on. Work, professional life, business, and so on. So in a way, it is not necessary that someone will be impacted by one reason. There could be any reason, as I already told before. There could be any reason, or any aspect of life can trigger an individual's well-being, can impact individual's emotional or psychological health as well. Emotional or psychological belief. Once the belief have been impacted, that will also escalate the issues in their life. So counseling, significance of counseling, this is why I put it here. It's a very good thing. Through the counseling sessions, client will get a chance to understand actually what is happening, what they want to know, what they want to achieve, whether they are appropriate things or not, and which path they choose. So throughout the session, some people may prefer more session, some people may prefer less sessions. It's all depend upon them again. However, it is very useful for a client to use a counseling service. Similarly, building self-confidence, capabilities, and strength. In counseling, the counselor will basically identify not only the issues and problems, the strength of a client. No one is perfect in this world. They gain knowledge and they develop their skills learning by doing. So any age of the people can be impacted. And there could be any reason, as I already told before. So here what I'm trying to highlight is counseling service will enable clients, the understanding about themselves, understanding about client situations, and also identify their strength and capabilities to utilize to overcome from those issues. Client may need other assistance and services as well, other supports in their life. However, even to utilize or to reach out those services and supports, client need a strength, willingness, acceptance. They need to accept, yes, it is required. So counseling services will basically help client to build the confidence, capabilities. Sometimes they have loss of the strength they already demonstrated in the past. At present, they may not be able to utilize them, and they might be dragging down with a negative path or the path which is harming their psychological and emotional states as well. So counseling service will definitely help on that one and bringing positive change in personal and professional life. On that point, I would like to explain a little bit the last one, bringing a positive change in personal and professional life. Every single person in their economic age, let's say example over 18 and until retire, everybody wants to be movable. I mean, that's the economic age. Everybody wants to work and earn and make their better life. In personal life, there could be any reason. They may have high expectation. They may not be able to reach out. Some people may have family issues. Some people may lose their, the loved one and suffering from worry and grieving. Some people feel loneliness. Some people may have, the unhealthy competition and they keep them down themselves. We have heard the news of, suicide. It is not that people just quickly decide and go and suicide. There could be many reasons behind committing suicide. We need to understand it, need to be a little bit sensitive on that one. I remember quickly about sociologist Emile Durkheim, who postulated the theory of suicide, who explained that committing suicide is not a desire. There could be many reasons and that lead the person to commit a suicide. So here, what I'm trying to say here is in an individual life. Even when we talk about professional life, still there is a person, an individual life is or will be impacted if there is something wrong. So in professional life, let's say example, there could be job related, or there could be a business, or like, you know, they are themselves business people. In job related, people may have high expectation. Somehow people, the employee may suffer from, kind of bullying and harassment, discriminations, inequality, low pay and wages, low the salary and wages paying low is an inequality, and treating the people based on the race, age, sex, and of course English language. English is a secondary language. That will impact the person's life, in individual life. Again, also it is a job related. Also in the job, let's say example, they want to get the promotion, but they are seeing the other are promoted. They are required to like develop or build their, like, improve their skills, or some sort of like training and coaching would be helpful. Some sort of like, some fair treatment or listening the employee would be helpful, rather doing this thing. If any job place or workplace taking action against any employee, or doing the unfair dismissal, or sack them, or threaten them, or send a warning letter or something, without hearing their ideas. It's not only job, everywhere. Without hearing the person's personal views, if they take action, that will lead, those kind of things will lead a person in a difficult situation. They may lose their strength, where to talk. They may not know where to go, or they may scared to go to, they may scared to like seek a help as well, because they may afraid of, if I report it, I will be impacted, or I may not get another job, or my record will be bad. Sort of things will also trigger persons, the employee's head, trigger employees as well. So these are some sort of like scenario. Unfortunately, some people suffer, not all. Some people may suffer. This is why there is a rules and regulations. On that case, counseling services are also useful. Here, I would like to make clear that counseling service is not a legal service, not a legal advice. Counselors are not eligible to advise legally. They understand it, and client also should understand it. However, if client scenario is like that, or related to legal issues, related to health issues, this is what I already explained, and counselor will identify it and guide the client to reach out to the right place. You can see people's different scenario from these pictures as well. People feel grieving and sorrow because of incident and death of their loved one. And the heartburn, people may not know whether that is sometimes psychological, or there is a pain inside. People also need to immediate seek help on that one as well. And scamming nowadays, our old is technically advanced, old getting technically advanced and digitalized in these days, and anyone could be scammed. People may scam you in email. They can hack email. They can also use your even computer or laptop. They can hack or scam your mobile, it's a personal information. They can use those personal information, and they can sell or use. So those scams also may bother people. That is also the part of anxiety and stress. We need to seek a help on that one. Where to report, how to become strong to fight with them. That's the important thing. Similarly, physical violence, you can see domestic violence, could be domestic violence, could be street violence or whatever. You can see the physical that will impact person's life, and counseling service is also one of them, to lead them in a right direction, to get justice as well as to be safe, to make their life safe. Similarly, loneliness and work-based. Before I told work-based, stresses and anxieties, or the difficulties or pain, discriminations or whatever work-related things. Sometimes employee may simply, face because of mess environment as well. If someone is only sitting in the computer and talking, and someone is going back and always, fixing the things, it is also not right thing. Because in the workplace, there should be some job description, obviously job descriptions, and they need to respect and treat the employee within a team each other, because work is a team environment. And in a team, if someone, some one or two are always think they are always in higher level, and one or two are treated in different way. So that is also very important issues, and people need to understand that if they are bothering, where to go. There are lots of options to seek help, and counseling service also will guide the client on those issues. Similarly, research and studies, student, I'm focusing on student now. This time, because of COVID, it's been, in case of Australia, it's been more than 18 months. There is no international travel. People are not getting chance to meet their family and friends. So many things are basically bothered. Now it's opening, which is good. From next week, it will be open slowly to those who have got double vaccinations. Government is gradually implementing the policies and legislation, to open those kind of COVID restrictions slowly and gradually. Hopefully, it will be normalized sometimes. However, because of long-term, long-term restrictions, that kind of restrictions are also being a problem in people's life. Not all people, but I believe people are suffer from those kind of things. COVID crisis, stress, I can say that one. And they can also go to counseling to seek a help. What is exactly happening to them? Counseling service will assist people to counsel them what is exactly happening and how they need to work out to bring a change in their life. This is what the aim of the counseling, I already told you before. It is really helpful. So these are just a few pictures. You can see the relationship issues. Two people are turning other side, means it's just for example. I put couple of on the slides there just to highlight why people go to counseling services, just to understand it. At this stage in this presentation, I basically have explained what is counseling and what are the significance of counseling services. I believe I have explained a lot. Now, let me introduce another topic which is related to this presentation, and that also will help you, to motivate you to reach out the counseling service. Steps and process of counseling session. So I talk a lot about counseling is helpful. There are lots of benefit, different kind of people can reach out the counseling. There could be any reason behind the people's difficulties, pains, sorrow, grief, or anxiousness. There could be any reasons, I already told. But how exactly the counseling service work out? I also have explained that counseling is not it's not the legal advice, it's not the medical medical advice. Now, in the summary, counseling is a professional service to bring a change in client's life. It is a professional guidance and continuous support until the case is with a counselor, until case is exit. Counseling is a scientific technology of assisting people in many ways to foster their well-being and gain better life. And clients of various issues, problems, needs, expectation may seek counseling services. So these are the summary of today's explanation. And I have listed one diagram. This is basically your satisfaction is our business is a theme of my business, and I take a privilege to actually give what I do in my business. So in case of counseling services, although jEDU'L consulting is part of education consulting services and counseling services. So in counseling services, basically anyone can contact. I'm myself as a practicing counselor, qualified counselor, qualified education counselor, and qualified generic practicing counselor as well. So you can contact me in any issues related to COVID related concern, education studies related issues, family relationship issues, cultural shock or self-care, general concern, anxiousness, worries and stresses, personal well-being and development matter, referral, continuous case management. This is what, once we agree to continue, continuing the session, then I will be performing, serving you in a professional manner. And I also use the techniques of motivational, therapeutic, person-centric, solution-focused, scaling, psychosynthesis, and others as well. And basically, where to do the counseling session? I have a counseling, physical location in Parramatta is in 3 Parramatta Square. Remember 3 Parramatta Square. Level 14, 3 Parramatta Square. It is a huge building connected with the the station. Maybe 10 seconds you reach to the building door. I prefer to book for the physical counseling. I prefer you book the physical counseling session. And 9, I will be taking you. Once you book, I will be taking you in the Parramatta level 14, 30 Parramatta Square between 9 to 5. Similarly, I can also provide telephone counseling. For the telephone counseling, I prefer you contact to my mobile 0422837072, or I do have another mobile I use for business as well, 0406039526. Once again, 0406039526. And always it is appreciated if you contact me in my website www.jedul.com.au. There are lots of options, forms, links, information. You can come through there as well, and you can send me email in my Gmail, official Gmail, jEDU'L consulting @gmail.com or info@jedul.com.au. So there are lots of options. You can reach at me in order to seek counseling services. It is completely professional services, and I will definitely ensure you that I will definitely support you to improve your situation. I'm coming to the close of this today's presentation, and I'm thanking you very much for being with me. If you are anyone in emergency in case of Australia, domestic violence, if you are suffering from domestic violence, please call 1800 656 463. Child protection, if you know or you are having the issues of child protection, please call 132111. Similarly, if you are suffering from any dangerous thoughts or suicidal thoughts or mental illness, you believe or you think you're suffering from sort of psychological, emotional, the life-threatening things, please call Lifeline on 13 11 14. And of course, at emergency, do not just leave alone. Please dial 000. You will get service immediately. I hope you like the presentation, and I also believe this presentation is helpful to understand what counseling is, to know what are the benefit or usefulness of the counseling service. And also, I believe you are motivated knowing all those things, and you will not live alone yourself, and you will obviously seek counseling services in order, to resolve your issues and to get better well-being and better life. Thank you so much, and have a good afternoon.